If you are an e-com brand owner and you are sending out emails and nobody's buying anything, the alarm bells should be going off. You should be hitting that 30 to 60% of revenue, total revenue through email marketing. And look, I know there's a lot of you guys who are probably spending a lot of time on the emails. You are putting the design in, you're putting the time in, perhaps you're paying someone, but if nobody's buying from them, then it's a pointless exercise. And it's not only a pointless exercise, but you're actually missing out on money month on month. Every month you don't have your emails sorted. And look, this is the exact same stuff that we did for this brand right here to increase their attributed revenue from email marketing from 5,000 to 9,700 in a single month. So if you just see that jump there, £4,000 a month. I mean, over 12 months, you do the maths. That's how much money they're missing out on. And look, you'll see here, the revenue was actually a much larger here, but the attributed revenue were much lower. We came in here. Now they're selling almost half the amount, but they're doing more through email marketing, and this is the power of it. You don't have to pay per click for this traffic. This is just making more money out of what you're already doing, and then you use that money, reinvest it into your business, make even more. That's how it works. Look, I'm not going to waste a minute of your time. Let's get straight into this video and let's finally fix your emails. This is a simple guide and this is going to change the game for you if you are not making the money you should be through email. So look, first thing is you've got to start here. You have to start here because a weak subject line, that's the first problem, okay? You can have the best email in the world, best design, best offer, best products you're selling, best brand, best everything. But if nobody's opening them, then it might as well be the worst because no one's going to see it. No one's going to see what you're actually offering. Now, one of the main culprits for this is it's not getting open because it's boring. Okay, so you want to be asking yourself: Is this bland? Is this a bland email? Is it triggering intrigue? Am I using personalization? Am I testing subject lines enough? When was the last time I did actually test a subject line? Would I open this? What does this actually look like in the inbox? Have I sent a test email to see what this looks like? Is there too much text in? When you start asking yourself these things, you can start thinking outside the box and actually testing the open rate because this is the door to the entire ecosystem, right? If you had trash subject lines, okay, like I said, you can have the best emails, the best flows, the best volume, the best everything, paying for the best plan. But if you don't have people opening the emails, it's all a pointless exercise. And ultimately, when we're talking about 40% of total revenue, this is not something you can skip over. This is not something that is not mandatory. Okay, this is an essential part of e-commerce. And look, guys, when you see results like I just showed you, then that's because we started talking like a human. Like we got off of being corporate. I mean, you've got to think with consumers now. They're so conditioned to spot when they're being sold to, and they're on social media every day as well. So what they have is they have this clear indicator of relaxed humor through people posting on social media and just sort of being a bit more personalized, a bit more human being, right? People are not, if they're scrolling on Instagram reels and they're watching people make jokes and people being silly, they're not being serious. But then when they go over to the corporate setting where people are selling them things, it's all serious. So when they see both of those things in the same sitting, then they clearly know which one is which and they know when they're being sold to. Well, look, people don't want to know when they're being sold to. Now, a little way around this, okay, it's not completely around it, right? But if you're talking like people talk on social media and you're being cheeky and you're making jokes, that's not something that all these big boomer brands are doing. That is where you stand out, especially as an independent brand. And look, people are not offended by jokes and stuff like that anymore. Now, I'm not saying put offensive jokes into the subject lines. That is not what I'm saying. Me personally, I would find that funny. I would still open an email. I'd probably respect a brand for doing that. But don't do that. But make jokes and make culturally relevant jokes. Find your target audience and just start speaking like a human. Be cheeky. This is where you're going to get that open rate, and people are going to get excited when they start seeing your emails, when you really nail this, when you really get this down to a T. And if you want to find out culturally what your customers are doing, well, that's when you need to start really understanding your customer if you don't already. Call them up on the phone, send out surveys on the emails, send out emails reviewing things about themselves and offer them a discount or offer them a deal in order to get that data. That's very, very useful data. Second thing, lack of personalization. So this is where your emails are going to feel too generic. Look, if you're blasting the same emails to your entire list, you're going to be losing money. People want to feel like you're talking directly to them. Now, one brand that we worked with recently, it was a personal brand-led fashion brand. So they had a social media profile, but they also had a fashion brand on the back of it. Now, the benefit of that is when you're sending emails, you can send a text-based email talking one-on-one. And because people see these people on social media, they sort of feel like these guys are the ones running the business entirely. So when they're getting that one-on-one connection, they sort of feel like they're talking back and forth with these guys. This is one of the benefits of having a personal brand. But what I'm saying is, the lesson from that is the personalization effect. That is where people are really feeling that connection. People buy from people, and people buy from people they like. So the more you can talk one-on-one by using people's names and sending actual emails that's segmented to people who are actually interested, the better it's going to be. So you want to be breaking your list into groups. Okay, if nobody's buying from your emails, then you're probably sending to groups that don't give a fuck about your emails. So you want to be sending certain messages to new subscribers, certain messages to repeat buyers, certain messages to VIP customers. You don't want to be sending your VIP loyal customers who spend the most money emails like they've just signed up to your email list, because they're not going to buy that from that message, are they? And you're better off sending the right message to a much smaller group of people than you are the wrong message to thousands. And this is what a lot of people are doing wrong. So tailor your message. Use the segmentation within Klaviyo to actually send to the right groups. And the more niche that you can make this, the more that you're going to be able to pull out of that list. Honestly, guys, you'll be surprised. The more one-on-one you can, you'll find these little segments within your Klaviyo, and they will just be the money segments. And you tap into those, and you do it in a smart way, and you build a relationship with those guys. Those guys are going to be your most valuable customers. They can be worth a lot more than loads of normal customers, right? And add someone's name and recommend products that they bought before. This might even be something like, for example, if you're a shoe store and you've got people buying shoes just before the summer holidays because they're going on holiday, they like new shoes. Well, the following year, when it starts getting a little bit warmer, that's when you start sending them those type of emails and those type of products. That's how you start using emails in a clever manner. That's for your campaigns, right? And look, stop talking like boring businesses, yeah? If you sell to Gen Z, talk in slang, send them memes. If you're selling to 25-year-old women, say things like hun, slay, yeah, whatever they say. Well, we all know. We all know. But find out the slang and use the slang, because that is where they feel like, oh, maybe I'm talking to my friend here. And people buy from people they like. If you show that you understand them, trust me, some of you guys might be watching this now thinking this doesn't sound like anything. Trust me, this stuff goes a long way. This stuff goes a long way. You will notice the difference in your sales when you start doing these and going to this extra level. So, look, the next thing is no clear value of offer. Look, stop sending boring bullshit. Just look at your email and just think, is this something that I've just bashed together, or is this something that actually has something of an offer? Are you actually offering anything, or are you just sending an email for the sake of sending an email? Because what a lot of people do is they send 1, 2, 3 emails every 2 weeks of some random BS that they've put together. It's just saying, hi, buy this. And it's just like, what? You need an offer. What are you offering? What's the customer going to get out of it? Because let me tell you something, guys, yeah? Nobody gives a fuck about your brand like you do, yeah? I know you're the one sat on the laptop in the dark on your own, putting all the money in. Okay, you're passionate about it, maybe. Yeah, but the customers don't care. What the customers care about is what is it in it for them? What are they getting? So you have to be clear with the offer, and you have to show value. So it's not what's in it for me, it's what's in it for the customer. So stop talking about your brand, yeah? Do it a little bit, maybe the welcome flow or something like that. But understand why people are buying, right? You want to sell the dream, the end result. What is the end result? 80% of your time wants to be talking about the end result, okay? Too many people, too many brand owners, what they're doing is they're selling a trip to Barbados and they're spending all the time talking about the airplane. Don't talk about the airplane, talk about the beach, okay? Talk about the palm trees. Talk about the whitewater rafting. Talk about the wildlife. Talk about the restaurants. Okay, don't talk about the flight. The flight's the worst bit. We're not selling the ticket. We're selling the destination. Think of the destination. What's the destination giving you? Okay? If you're selling cream for the skin, talk a little bit about ingredients. That's the features, but you want to be talking about the benefits. Okay, you want to be selling the benefits, the end result. Okay, and when it comes to an offer, okay, what beginners are doing, they're saying, right, well, if I put 3 offers, then that's 3 times the chance people are going to buy. No. That's just a confused buyer. He doesn't 3 times anything. He just confuses them. So one offer, make it clear. We've been experimenting with much more simpler emails where it's literally an image and a call to action all above the fold, and that's it. And they've actually been performing quite well because it's clear, it's straight to the point. It's no bullshit, right? If you're trying to stack as much as you can on these super long emails and you've got different offers or it's not clear what the offer is, people are not going to click on it. People know this email is for this for what this one product, this one sale. Confused people do not buy. No multiple offers. Clear, very clear offer. This brings into the next one, poor call to action. Okay, this is going to be directly with your offer. This is going to show the clarity of your email as well. Just remember this: clickable, visible, in a do this, get this fashion. Do this, get this. Instruct people. This is like basic copywriting for e-commerce, right? So I'll give you an example. Click here, buy now, order now, add to cart, check out now, claim 10% off, claim your 10% off, claim your discount, apply your discount. Do this, get this, do this, get this. Okay, test these. And you're telling people what to do. You're not asking them what to do. You're not saying learn more. It's not nothing vague, right? But you're telling people in a do this and get this fashion. And then you've got to think visibility as well, right? Don't hide the call to action. Make it stand out, make it bold, make it clickable, and make it above the fold. Above the fold means that when you open an email, you want to see the call to action actually above where you open the email. So if you open an email on your phone, you want to be able to see that call to action button. Now, the reason for that is it's going to increase the amount of people that click on it. Now, in order to have that, you need the offer clear. So this when it comes to the actual design and what's actually on the email. Because it needs to be just clear as in, this is the offer, this is the button to click it. If you want more information, you put it underneath. Make it clear, do this, get this. And look, you might think, why is this guy talking about this? I cannot tell you how many people just have bullshit call to actions. And look, again, fancy design, fancy email, you might look at it, the aesthetic might be nice. But if it's not clear what the offer is, then we're not going to click. If it's not clear where the call to action is, or there's more call to actions, they're not going to click. One offer, clear, do this, get this, style of fashion. Okay? Reason 5, inconsistent sending. This is going to directly affect your deliverability if you're not sending on a consistent basis. So what people do is they send 1, 2, 3 emails every 2 weeks. Then comes up to a sale period, they're sending emails like, oh, why have I got 30% open rates? Well, you've got 30% open rates because you don't send enough emails. People aren't waiting to see the emails. People are signed up to 70 email lists on average, right? So if you're not sending all the time, then you're going to be drowned in that noise. Like, you have to condition people to be like, right, I'm interested in hearing from this business. I'm familiar with seeing their brand. I know what their emails are about. I know what the humor's like. I'm ready for the emails about this brand. And I actually find these emails interesting. And if you're segmenting properly, you should be sending 3 to 5 emails every single week. Now, look, what most brands do that say email doesn't work, they don't send any emails out, okay? So then they just think, well, I don't need to do 3 to 5 weeks. They don't work. Well, they don't work because you're not sending enough out. Your offer's shit and your design's shit. Okay? That's the reason why they're not working. Email works. Email works well. Very, very, very well. And I'm not just saying start sending 3 to 5 weeks per week for the sake of it. Make sure your offer's good. Okay? Make sure you're actually selling something people want. Make sure you're doing the things that we've talked about in this video. Because that way, you want to sort of find that sweet spot where people are not unsubscribing, and you want that consistency, and you want that variety, and you want to send a mix of value emails like tips, stories, and education about your actual brand, and you want to send promotional campaigns. And look, guys, we've been working with the brand recently, and they actually make more sales on their informational emails. So not even sales emails. They're just telling people about the brand. I mean, these guys have got a super cool brand. They work with high profile names and stuff like that. But nevertheless, you know, they're sending a lot more emails that are non-conversion emails, and they're making a lot of sales from email. So really big stuff. So yeah, look, guys, I'm not going to waste your time. Okay, if you're an e-commerce founder and you want to make more money from your email, then just go to my bio on my YouTube channel and click the link there. You can book a call with me. If we can work together, I'd love to make you some more money through email. If not, carry on watching these videos for free and make more money through email marketing for free. That's how it works. Okay? I'm not here for fun. I'm here to help you guys for free, and then hopefully make you even more money for a little bit. And you pay me a little bit, but you make more than you pay me. So then we're both happy. Hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know what you want me to cover next down below. All the best, guys. Wish you all the best of success. Bye.